Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Music Den. I'm your host, Armando Venditti. Hoping you guys are having a great day and above all else that you're indeed looking after yourselves and one another. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome you back to Prince Deep Dive 25, Part 2. In these episodes, I have been looking at 25 deep dive cuts of Prince. Some are singles that you may know, some singles you may not know as well. Others are album cuts, and others are singles that were only released in other territories. In part one, I've looked at tracks 25 through 14, and in part two, I'm going to be looking at, you guessed it, tracks 13 through 1. Now, in looking at the list, as I said in part one, or trying to put it together, I had a really hard time putting this list or finalizing it before hitting record. I was adding and subtracting just before I hit record to do this episode. And, but you know what? I've come up with my list and I've decided to stick with it. Now, as we all know, Prince was known for his risque lyrics and ideas in terms of lyrical themes. And track number 13 on this list is no different. I am talking about Head, released in 1980 off the Dirty Mind album. Uh, Dirty Mind, when it was released, was seen by Warner Brothers as commercial suicide because of the lyrical content on the album. Pretty much every track on the album talks about sex, and Head, again, is no different. And in terms of the arrangement of the tracks on the album, it's very sparse, uh, and Warner Brothers kind of viewed it as a demo album. And it's a very short album. It clocks in just under 30 minutes, like 29 minutes and change. And Warner Brothers wanted Prince to take the album and go in and re-record basically everything and add more instrumentation. And Prince said, "No, this is where I'm at. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to present. I'm not changing a damn thing." And they pretty much acquiesced to Prince. Now, with regards to Head, it's a second track on side two. It starts off with a wash of keyboards that come in from the previous track, Uptown, and it goes into a funky, as I'll get out, drum pattern. Prince does all the instrumentation on this album, as with this track, and he does introduce a new keyboard player at the time, Lisa Coleman, who took over for Gail Chapman, who didn't agree and didn't want to sing the lyrics on Head, and she tried to make some lyrical changes, and Prince said, "No, this is my song. This is how we're going to do it. That's it." So Gail Chapman was out, and Lisa Coleman comes in. Fantastic keyboard player, classically trained pianist, and she liked the idea with this track, the lyrical content. She loved the fact that it was risque, that it was pushing the envelope, and it's again funky drums, funked up bass on this, very ass shaking. I dare you to listen to this track and not move around or not bop your head or shake your ass at some point because you can't sit still. It is impossible. And Matt Fink, Dr. Fink, provides a keyboard solo on it. And the lyrical content basically talks about this guy who meets up with this stranger, this girl on the street, and you know, they basically hit it off. And she tells him she's just a virgin on her way to be wed. But he's such a hunk that she's gonna stop instead and give him fill in the blank. Now, this track has been played live from over the years many times. There is a video of Prince at the Capitol Theater in 1981 doing this track in black and white. And what I liked about it was he would extend certain sections, do little improv extensions here and there on the track, and basically do things with this guitar that I won't mention. You can see the video on YouTube for free, but it is simply fantastic. And then it basically the same keyboard wash that starts the track ends the track, and it goes into the next track, Sister. I won't go into what Sister is about because if you're a Prince fan, you know what it's about. I won't go there. That's number 13. Coming in at number 12, I have Thunder from Diamonds and Pearls, released in October of 1991. Diamonds and Pearls, just a little footnote, was looked at Prince's return to the charts. Overall, it sold 5.2 million copies, and it pretty much was hailed as a return for Prince due to the fact that Graffiti Bridge, the Batman soundtrack, and Love Sexy didn't do as well on the North American charts as Warner Brothers would have wanted it to. And this is a fantastic track. This was recorded, I believe, in 1990 when Prince was in Japan. It's all Prince doing all the instrumentation. It starts off with the a cappella intro of the chorus, and but basically starts off with the bass drum that kicks in, or synthetic bass drum, whatever you want to say, Lynn drum machine, whatever, with sound effects of thunder and rain, and then it kicks into the main body of the song with the drums and what I hear as a sitar being used on the verses. And it is just wonderful. It's like 5 minutes and 50 seconds. Good way to start the album. Lyrically, it talks about an individual who was basically rediscovering faith in his religion, in God, and within himself. And there's a lot of peaks and valleys on this track. It culminates in a lot of overdubs of the instrumentation of the keyboards and guitars, a lot of screeching guitars on this track, and it basically fades out with the sound of rain effects on the end of the track, and then segues into Daddy Pop, track number 2. That's number 12. Uh, Track 11, I have Gotta Stop Messing About, released in 1980. Now, this track was, I believe, deemed as the first non-album B-side that Prince wrote. 2 minutes and 59 seconds. Again, it was a B-side in the US. It was an A-side in the UK. And as you can tell from the graphic I just put up, very young Prince on that picture, in that photo, sorry. And in the UK, this again was the A side. The B side was Uptown. And the 12-inch mix of this had Uptown and Head as the two tracks on side B. Pretty much a new wave kind of feel on this track. Heavy guitar and bass. Again, Prince doing all the instrumentation and Prince is singing in a falsetto. Tight drumming on this, heavy bass presence. And the keyboards that come in, since that he uses, are well, pretty much I would consider them to be, sorry, new wave kind of synths, kind of like gee, I see. I can't even say who would be using it at that time. I would say the Cars, but not so much the Cars. But very new wave pop kind of feel to it. Again, very short track. And there was a time when a lot of people were searching for this track in terms of owning it. And you can get it as part of the Hits and B-Sides collection that came out in 1993 through Warner Brothers. But it's a good song, nice tight drumming and instrumentation through the whole piece, beautifully done. That's number 11. Coming in at number 10, I have Eggplant. Originally released in 1986, there is a version of this track featuring Wendy Melvoin on lead vocal, but this version has Prince on lead vocal, and it is featured on the Sign of the Times Super Deluxe box set that came out in 2020. Very beautiful song, just very bouncy, very lighthearted, just a good pop-oriented kind of track. The bass drum has a fuzz. I was going to say phase effect. Sorry, a fuzz effect on the bass drum. Very bright keyboard passage, very bouncy. And again, it's an ass shaker of a track. And it's basically Prince saying to a friend, the girl that he's interested in isn't right for him. She's an airhead. She's got no intelligence to speak of. She can't even hold a conversation in her hands, for God's sake. That, she's dumber than a sack of bricks. That kind of feel about the track. But and he's basically trying to warn his friend, stay away from her because she's no good for you. Again, very lighthearted track, beautifully done. There's a lot of these songs on the Sign of the Times set that could have been included on the set, but you know what? I mean, I'm glad that we have them. And if you can get your hands on the Sign of the Times set, please do because it is packed full of fantastic music and live concerts on that set. So please, if you can get it at a good deal, grab it. You won't be disappointed. Coming in at number 9, I have Don't Talk to Strangers, released in 1996 on the Girl 6 soundtrack. This is a beautiful ballad done by Prince, beautiful guitars on it, very subtle guitar work on it, beautifully done. And again, very subtle strings and synths on this track. This is Prince again singing in a falsetto. Prince and the New Power Generation did all the music or supplied all the music for the Girls 6 soundtrack. Some of the songs were, you know, pre-recorded, like, well-known tracks like Nasty Girl and Hot Thing. But there were new songs on that. There were new songs at the time on that soundtrack, like Don't Talk to Strangers. And this is a beautiful song, ballad just over 3 minutes long. Again, Prince singing in a falsetto. And he's basically telling the woman that he's interested in, this is not going to work out for us. I need to leave. I love you. I want to be with you, but it can't work. But do not lose faith in yourself. You are a fantastic person. Don't lose faith in God. You'll be guided along and you'll find someone that will be there for you and be right for you. But literally, when I hear this, I almost tear up because it's that beautiful. Okay, Shaka Khan does do a version of this song. Um, I believe her album is called Come to My House, which was produced by Prince, but I prefer this version. It is poignant, emotional, and just plain beautiful. It really and truly is. That's number 9. Coming in at number 8, I have Crystal Ball. This song has seen various, I don't want to say releases, but has been around in many forums. This version I'm going to be talking about was released originally, well, put together on a compilation of an album called The Dream Factory from Prince and the Revolution. And this version is the 10-minute, 38-second version of it. There's an 11-minute version to this song that adds an extra few seconds of a jazz section, heavy bass. Now, this song for me stands out as an anomaly because it's nothing like any song in the Prince catalog to me. It starts off with a drum machine, bass drum, kicking in. Prince is on all instrumentation for this track, and he does the vocal in a uh, slightly sped up tempo or higher octave, I should say. Sorry, mimicking what would be known later as Camille. Now, at the time of the recording of this, Prince was working on 3 albums. He was working on the Camille album, he was working on the Dream Factory album, which this is from, and he was working on an album called Crystal Ball, which was going to be a triple disc affair with 22 songs. And this version of the song appears on the Dream Factory album, the July '86 configuration, and it's just a very unique track. Again, the bass drum starts off the track, and it has various effects of like a train coming into a station. beautiful synths that come in that mimic, strings that come in like an orchestra. Then Prince's vocal comes in, and just very odd time changes and time signature changes on this track, and instrumentation and lyrical content. It is unique, and it should be talked about more. Um, I think it's a fantastic piece of work, and it's Prince. It's unique. It's original. It's unlike anything else I've ever heard coming out of his catalog. But it is simply wonderful. This version also appears on the triple disc. Depending on what version you have, you can get this album, Crystal Ball box set, either in a triple disc or a four disc version that was released in 1998. And yeah, this is just amazing. This track does lead off the Crystal Ball box set. That's number 8. Coming in at number 7, also from the Crystal Ball box set, I have Good Love. This is the uh, excuse me, the 1998 version of this song. Very sort of this track, Good Love, was originally meant for the Bright Lights, Big City um, movie, which it does appear on the soundtrack, starring Michael J. Fox and Kiefer Sutherland. This version of the track, there's two versions. There's a 4 minute 57-second version, and there's a 5 minute and 15-second version. This version I'm talking about is the 4 minute 57-second version. Great effects on this track, great drumming, light-hearted, sped up vocals again, featuring Camille, Prince's alter ego at the time, and just good bass work, great keyboards, and it's just talking about looking for looking for anyone that wants to have a good time. Nothing too serious, nothing too over the top, nothing too analytical. Just find someone that makes you feel good and just enjoy your time together. Fantastic vocals from him. Has a very much of a party atmosphere on this track. Yeah, Prince's sped up vocals, which was something that I would imagine was a bit unique at the time. And again, he was working with various, one in particular, alter ego named Camille, which he would use to long story short, too late, I know. He would speed up his vocals just slightly, just alter the pitch to a higher pitch. Um, and he dubbed his alter ego Camille. And yeah, this track is Good Love is simply fan bloody tastic. That's number 7. Coming in at number 6, I have We March, released from the on the Gold Experience album, released on September 22nd, 1995, again to Warner Brothers. This features Nona Gay, Marvin Gaye's daughter, on this track, and it's pretty much a call to arms in terms of the lyrical content, talking about having pride in yourself and not selling yourself short to anybody, any government, any official, anybody that's going to bring you down and make you feel bad for who you are and the way you were born and where you were born. Stand up for yourself and be proud. It does have a marching quality to it in terms of the arrangement. And basically, it's a musical call to arms, and it's done beautifully. Nona Gay does some fantastic vocal work on this track, and it's again very self-affirming and very anthemic to my untrained ears. I think it's fantastic. Um, and yeah, it's number 6. Coming in at number 5, I have Dolphin, again from the uh, Gold Experience album, released in 1995. Dolphin to me should have been released as a single. The opening lyric is, "How beautiful do the words have to be before they conquer every heart?" And then the next lyric is, how will I know if I'm even singing in the right key if you stop me before I start? So, I mean, it's basically a song about censorship, and it's a beautiful pop rock track. Great guitar work on this from Prince. Really nice thick guitar tone. Very bouncy again, very self-affirming, very uh, lighthearted, but in a positive way, not bubblegum fluff, but a very positive track. Good guitar solo on this. And he's basically saying, I'm not going to change who I am to appease you, the record company, or you, the management. I'm going to do what I'm going to do for myself. I come first before anyone else in terms of anyone being happy. And if you don't like it, then I'm done. I'll walk away. I'd rather uh, stop what I'm doing and just walk away before I would ever change who I am and what I do to appease you or anybody. This is a fantastic piece of work. Melodic as all get out, heavy guitar on this. He has a good touch on the guitar solo for this. It's an amazing piece of work. That's number five. Coming in at number four, I have Plectrum Electrum from 2014. Beautiful track, instrumental from the album of the same name. Uh, this album, along with Plectrum Electrum, along with Artificial Age, was released on September 30th, 2014. His return to Warner Brothers, who, upon signing this deal, Prince uh, obtained ownership of his masters, which he was extremely excited about. This is an instrumental piece. Now, I should say that Plectrum Electrum is a rock album featuring Third Eyed Girl as the backing group. And this track was written by Donna Gradis, originally titled Electra, and Prince asked if he could change the track to Plectrum Electrum. He loved this track, and she said, "Sure, let's change it." And they recorded it. This is just him and Third Eye Girl rocking out. Just amazing. Just amazing. There is a video of this on YouTube you could probably check out. And heavy guitar from Prince and Donna Grandis on this track. Heavy drumming, great bass work. It's just a good balls to the wall rock track. Coming in at number four. Coming in at number three, the rock continues with Bambi from the self-titled sophomore release from '79. Bambi is again a balls to the wall rock track. Again, Prince in falsetto mode and guitar galore. I mean, I love his guitar tone, really thick and rich and lush and screeching at times. Lyrically, huh, he's basically saying to his girlfriend who left him, saying, I know you left me for another woman. You're making a big mistake. It's better with a man. You know what? It was Prince. I mean, and this is what he was doing. He was pushing the envelope, and this was just him starting to push the envelope with regards to his recording output. And again, a good old-fashioned balls to the wall rock track, amazingly done. I do believe that there was a side project that Prince had called The Rebels, featuring Des Dickerson and Gail Chapman and Andre Simone, and they were more of a rock outfit. And I do believe that he re-recorded this for the Rebels project, but the Rebels album never saw the light of day because they thought it sounded too generic. But this version off the sophomore release, amazing, amazing. If you think Prince can't rock out, if you think of him as just an R&B funk type of individual, you're wrong. Listen to this track and you'll be pleasantly surprised. That's number three. Coming in at number two, I have 17 Days, a part of the Purple Rain era from the Purple Rain project. This was the B-side to When Doves Cry. And the original idea of Purple Rain was to make it a double album. being a soundtrack to the movie. But he relegated songs like this, 17 Days, to B-sides. And it's a beautiful track. It starts off with, I do believe it's a swirling keyboard passage, and then the drums come in, the bass drum, and the bass comes in. Heavy bass on this track. I'm not sure if Prince does all the instrumentation on the track, but there's heavy bass and good rhythm guitar on the down chord that you hear on the downbeat. But you also hear Wendy and Lisa on backup vocals on this, and it's basically him saying, you've been gone 17 days and 17 long nights, that he's missing the girl that he's with. And you have to believe it's Apollonia from the film. And he says that the main drag is knowing that you're holding someone else tight. Um, it's just a beautiful song. Um, Very poignant, um, very beautifully done. Yeah, it's a fantastic piece of work. There are different versions of this. There's an extended version, but you know what? Sometimes all you need is the original 3 or 4 minute version, and this is one of those times. It is fan bloody tastic. It's number two. Coming in at number one, I have The Cross, released off of Sign of the Times in 1987. This track, I was going to say this album again, bloody hell. This track uh, starts off side four, track one. Starts off with a very subtle guitar intro, and then the guitar chords come in, and it's just Prince singing very softly. Black day, stormy night, no love, no hope in sight. Don't cry, for he's coming. Don't die without knowing the cross. And that's the first set of lyrics, and it is simply beautiful. Most of the songs that had a religious overtone to them apparently were done on Sundays, and it's basically the track itself just talks about societal issues. Um, with lyrics like "Sweet Song of Salvation," a pregnant mother sings, "She lives in starvation," uh, lyrics like that, and it's really poignant. The drums do come in, and towards the on the middle of the track, and uh, the bass drum comes in heavy, and then he counts in, and the drums come in full with the guitar, and it's just beautifully done. And it comes in full force towards the end of the track. You hear heavy guitar, heavy rhythm guitar, heavy use of sitar mixed in, and it fades out. And after you hear the fade out come in, you hear him triple or quadruple track himself. I'd say triple track, just yelling out the cross. Okay. Now, when he would do this live. He did this on the Sign of the Times tour. It was a rock out masterpiece. The band came in, they were heavy. You had Eric Leeds and Atlanta Bliss on uh, trumpet, and they would add to the instrumentation, and it just builds and builds and builds, and it's just amazing. They would rock out, they would do little guitar solos, little improv sections here and there, and it would end with Prince doing a guitar figure that just sort of stopped the audience. It was just amazing. It was big, it was bold, and it really, you know, made a big impression on me watching the movie Sign of the Times. But yeah, The Cross is a song I think that should be mentioned more often, and it's a beautiful piece of work. You know, it doesn't matter what religious affiliation you are. It's just a song of, again, talking about societal issues and your faith in whatever religion you are, and just holding on to that faith. Done in a rock format, but it's effective nonetheless. So. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Prince Deep Dive 25 Part 2, going through tracks 13 to 1. Please put down the comments below, sorry. your opinion of these tracks, or better yet, tell me what you think of the tracks on this list. And again, there are no right or wrong answers, just opinion, right? And please click like and subscribe and hit the notification bell to keep yourselves on top of any new content I've got coming up. And I will see you soon on the Music Den. Bye for now.